Cabinet received an update on the 2023-2024 summer crops marketing and a food security outlook report into March 2025, the 2024 winter crops production, and the 2025-2024 crops summer season plan, as presented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable A.J. Masuka. To date, the Grain Marketing Board has received 20,148 metric tons of maize, soybeans, sorghum and sunflower from the El Nino ravaged 2023-2024 summer season. The private sector has imported 974,658 metric tons of maize, wheat and wheat flour since the 1st of April 2024. And the government of Zimbabwe has also imported 39,916 metric tons of maize. The total strategic grain reserve stock stands at 244,296 metric tons. Pertaining to the ongoing food deficit mitigation program, cumulatively, the government of Zimbabwe has distributed 197,628.796 metric tons of grain to feed the food insecure households since February 2024. Additionally, the government of Zimbabwe has also distributed 17,421 metric tons of meal to schools under the emergency schools feeding program since the beginning of the third term, with a view of ensuring learners get a decent meal on each school day. Regarding the 2024 winter wheat production, a record wheat crop has been harvested to date. As at 1 November 2024, about 106,238 hectares had been harvested, giving a total of 518,502 metric tons of wheat, surpassing the 465,546 metric tons achieved in 2023. To date, 75,000 metric tons of wheat has been delivered to the Grain Marketing Board. The remarkable performance of the winter wheat production program attests to the foresight, planning and organizational capacity of His Excellency the President Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. Harvesting is proceeding utilizing over 291 configured combined harvesters and more than 550,000 metric tons of wheat is expected. The 2024-2025 summer season plan aims to increase production of cereals to 3,274,000 metric tons against the 744,271 metric tons obtained during the 2023-2024 summer season. The overall production volumes of major crops are expected to increase by 347% from a mere 915,000 metric tons to over 4 million metric tons. The production target for cereals is 3.3 million metric tons, while that for pulses is 819,000 metric tons. Under the Presidential Input Scheme, 91% of the targeted 9.5 million plots have been prepared by 86% of the targeted 3.5 million households. All beneficiaries will receive 50% of their inputs by the 24th of November 2024. The government of Zimbabwe has adopted additional measures to curb the abuse of inputs. The measures include the blacklisting of any official involved in the input abuse scandals, the banning of ward committees involved in inputs abuse, and implementing an improved standard operating procedure with raw clarity. The National Enhanced Agricultural Productivity Scheme will establish a total of 52,500 hectares under maize, soybean, traditional grains, and sunflower, with a target to produce 256,000 metric tons. The private sector is also undertaken to fund establishment of 95,046 hectares of maize, soybeans, potatoes, sugar beans, and sunflower. The other facility will plant 100,000 hectares under maize and 50,000 hectares of traditional grains. The private sector support for cotton targets 418,000 farmers to plant 270,000 hectares under cotton. The target tobacco production for the 2024-2025 season is 300 million kilograms, and to date, over 117,000 growers have been registered. Cabinet considered and approved the proposed public-private partnership project between the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development and a private company on the upgrading, construction, and tolling of the Harare-Nyamapanda Road and the Nyamapanda border post, as presented by the Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion, Honorable Professor Mthuli Ncube. Cabinet advises that the joint venture is on the upgrading, construction, and tolling of the Harare-Nyamapanda Road and the Nyamapanda border post through a build, operate, and transfer model. In terms of the agreement, the special purpose vehicle will hold equity in the project and facilitate the flow of funds between the various stakeholders. The Harare-Nyamapanda special purpose vehicle will be based in Zimbabwe, will be responsible for the design, construction, and maintenance of the road and the border post infrastructure. The Harare-Nyamapanda tolling SPV will be tasked with the collection of toll charges from road users, which will be utilized to service the project's debt and generate returns for equity. The project will be fully funded by the investor. The project will enhance trade efficiency between Zimbabwe and Mozambique, reducing congestion and delays. This improvement will facilitate smoother and faster movement of goods, which will boost local businesses and attract new investments. The increased trade activity will create job opportunities, reduce unemployment rates in the region. Additionally, the upgrade will also improve in terms of revenue collection for the government, which can be reinvested into local infrastructure and services. The project will improve the quality of life for local residents by reducing the time and costs associated with cross-border travel and trade. The project is also expected to enhance regional integration and cooperation, fostering a sense of community and shared economic goals. Furthermore, the reduction in congestion and improved infrastructure will likely lead to better safety and security at the border, benefiting both travelers and the residents. The economic benefits from the increased trade and investment will trickle down to various sectors of the economy, including transport, hospitality, and retail. Cabinet received reports on progress made in the implementation of priority projects for the third 100-day cycle of 2024 as presented by the Ministers of Youth, Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training and the Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development. The Minister of Youth, Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable Tinoda Machakaire, reported progress on projects under his purview as follows: that preparations for the Youth Empowerment Forum at Magamba vocational training, where over 10,000 youths from different provinces are expected to attend, is at an advanced stage. The awareness programs on drug and substance abuse reached an estimated 15,000 youths at various areas and also utilizing different platforms and jurisdictions. That over 1 million youths accessed drug and substance abuse information through a mega awareness campaign that was organized in Makonde. That the refurbishment of a male hostel at Magamba Vocational Training Center, which accommodates at least 80 students, is now 80% in terms of completion. The construction of the Sivomo Vocational Training Center is ongoing and is at 75% in terms of completion. That materials for the construction of the Kadoma Vocational Training Center have been secured and a contractor is on site. That 1,081 youths have been identified and allocated to institutions for community attachment, whilst youth from Vumba and Dadaya training centers have successfully managed to complete their training program and preparations for deployment are ongoing. An area covering 3 hectares at Magamba Vocational Training Center was planted with commercial beans, while an area covering 1 hectare was planted with commercial peas under the Tabudirira Vocational Training Center. The Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, Honorable Felix Tapiwa Mona, reported progress on projects under his purview as follows: that the repairs and maintenance at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport in Harare is at 98% in terms of completion and will be completed this year. That the construction of the 3.8 kilometer for the cycle under the Harare Mashingo Bight Bridge road upgrade is complete and has been opened for traffic. The construction of the Mbudzi interchange in Harare currently stands at 77% in terms of completion. 2 bridges at Amalinda Road and Harare Drive missing link have been completed and opened to traffic. The Mashingo Glenora Loop was opened to traffic. The 1.6 kilometer road, the Amalinda Road, was completed and also opened for traffic. And the 750 meter Harare Drive missing link has been completed. that 10-kilometer surfacing of the 20-kilometer targeted under the Harare-Kanyimba Road upgrading in Harare and Mashonaland Central provinces was completed and opened to traffic, and construction has been registered in terms of progress, which has reached 60% in terms of completion, and that the 8-kilometer road under the Shurugwi Mandamahwe road rehabilitation in Midlands Province was commissioned and opened to traffic. Cabinet considered and noted the preparedness for the hosting of the extraordinary summit of SADC heads of state and government as presented by the Honorable Vice President Dr. C.G.D.N. Chiwenga. The nation is informed that an extraordinary summit of SADC heads of state and government is scheduled to be held in Harare from the 16th to the 20th of November 2024, primarily to address emerging issues of regional significance. The summit is also expected to be briefed on political events in the region, including the recent elections in Mozambique and Botswana and the upcoming polls in Namibia. Preparations for hosting are at an advanced stage, and the technical subcommittees have already started convening meetings to prepare for the extraordinary summit. The subcommittees will ride on the already established protocols which facilitated the successful hosting of the 44th SADC Summit in order to ensure the seamless convening of the extraordinary summit. Cabinet considered and approved the Memorandum of Agreement between SADC member states regarding the establishment of a SADC Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency as presented by the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziambi. To ensure universal access to sustainable modern energy by 2030, the government of Zimbabwe continues to explore and incorporate clean and efficient energy sources to meet the country's energy needs. To achieve this, the government initiates and promotes cooperation with private and public entities, regional and international bodies. The MOA between SADC member states regarding the establishment of a SADC Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency in Namibia will allow Zimbabwe to join the SADC region in facilitating access to modern and clean energy and improved energy security across the region by promoting market-based uptake of renewable energy and energy-efficient technologies. The cooperation will enable the creation and reinforcing of ecosystems for renewable energy development and deployment at national and regional level, development of technical facilities that can pilot and demonstrate replicable renewable energy applications, assistance in testing and standardization of energy efficient technologies, training and skills development, and the implementation of a global network of knowledge and expertise to be utilized for deployment. Cabinet considered and approved the accession of the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights amendment protocol of 2025 as presented by the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziambi. Zimbabwe is a member of the World Trade Organization and is party to its agreements. In January 2017, the protocol amending the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights entered into force. This provides for medicines to be procured under special compulsory licensing for export to countries particularly reliant on overseas supplies to meet the needs of their patients. It secures a legal pathway for access to affordable medicines as a permanent part of the agreement, and it creates a very valuable public health safeguard. Cabinet considered and approved the proposed themes for the 65th edition of the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair as presented by the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Honorable N.M. Ndlovu. The nation is informed that the 2025 ZITF will be held from the 22nd to the 26th of April 2025. The exhibition will spotlight strategies essential to accelerate economic development and will catalyze the embracing of trade opportunities as provided for by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. The 2025 ZITF will be private sector led, and the investment and export development programs will play a central role. Given the national vision of developing the economy to ensure the achievement of an upper middle income economy by 2030, Cabinet approved industrialization, crafting an integrated economic landscape as the theme for the event. The theme emphasizes the importance of establishing a strong and competitive industrial base in Zimbabwe to drive economic growth, create jobs, and enhance the country's global competitiveness. Cabinet received an update on the launch of Zimbabwe's second satellite, which the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology, Honorable Frederick Chava, presented. The nation is advised that Zimbabwe launched its second Earth observation satellite, ZIMSTAR-2, into orbit today, the 5th of November 2024. The ZIMSTAR-2 satellite was launched from Russia. The satellite was designed and manufactured through a collaborative research program between the Zimbabwe National Geospatial and Space Agency and the Southwest State University in Russia. The satellite was designed for Earth observations and data collection in agriculture, environmental protection, and natural resources management. The ZIMSTAR-2 will monitor the Earth and support missions that keep track of crop health, predict yields, and identify any deficiencies. Developed utilizing modern technologies, ZIMSTAR-2 demonstrates high efficiency and reliability and is a key milestone in the development of our nation as we work towards Vision 2030. I thank you. Thank you, Chief Secretary. The first question, I'll deal with it. But I will allow Professor Mtulengwe to deal with the timeline for the Nyamapanda Road and the maintenance plan.
Two questions regarding construction time as well as maintenance plans for the Nyamapanda Road. First of all, this road is about 232 kilometers long, and it goes to a very important border that takes travelers, economic entities through Zimbabwe into Malawi. It's a very important road, and the project, by the way, includes both the road and then the border post as well. So the expectation is that this project will take 3 years to complete from the date of signing the concession agreement, which will then be agreed to as from the day the negotiations begin to take place. Once that is concluded, signed off, then it takes 3 years to construct this road as well as the border post to allow for easy access through the border into Malawi. So in terms of maintenance, this project is a build, own, operate and transfer arrangement, what you call a BOT arrangement, and it includes maintenance as part of it. So over the next 25 years, this is a 25-year concession, the project promoter, which is Ghana Resources Private Limited, will maintain this road as part of that arrangement, and government will obviously only deal with maintenance issues after the 25 years that is envisaged. But of course, should the project promoter recoup their profits well before that, then government's takeover of maintenance may happen sooner than the 25 years. But as things stand, the contractor will, or the promoter will maintain the road over the 25-year concession period. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shara. To my colleague, the private sector has been importing from many different countries. I want to empower you with the statistics to assist you in terms of the resilience building exercise, in order to ensure that as a government we take care of the vulnerable, including the urban population, and also in terms of stock feed production. The current statistic is that 974,658 metric tons of maize, wheat, and wheat flour has been imported since April 2024. And the requirements are in order to cater for food requirements until March 2025. A total of 807 import permits were issued to 420 companies in order to import 4,131,260 metric tons of maize by March 2025. The issuance of import permits 4 times the estimated deficit is being put in place in order to stabilize the prices and also to eliminate arbitrage opportunities. So this is the current statistics as part of the resilience building mechanism to cater for the population of Zimbabwe. Thank you.
I confirm $600,000 for the launch of the satellite and its development. It's a very similar figure that we spent on ZimSat-1 working with Japan. So that's the ballpark figure. So it's been quite cost effective for what we are achieving and what we're able to do with this satellite. First of all, the skill acquisition, the development of frontier knowledge in space technology, and as well as the usefulness of the satellite in gathering information, Earth observation, tracking climate change issues. I think you'll agree with me that the value of the satellite in terms of the benefits from it far exceed the meager cost of 600,000. 600,000 is efficient in the first place. Thank you.
Comrade Chair, and let me thank my good brother Theophilus for that very important question, which will then allow me to articulate precisely and allay the fears of the people of Zimbabwe. And to start by apologizing, yes, you talked about the shift in dates pertaining to the completion of that project, which was very conditional, suspensive, in the sense that we had compensation that was supposed also to make sure we to adequately compensate those property owners within the precincts of the interchange. And I'm glad that under the wise leadership of His Excellency Comrade Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, we've managed to pay in full the property owners. And our target hasn't changed. This year in December, I'm to say that those people will be going for their Christmas. They will be enjoying, especially going to Masvingo and coming from Masvingo over the new road. If you have seen now, we've started the installation of pre-stressed beams where we are working on bridge number 2 and 3. Out of the 15 bridges, those are still the remaining 2 bridges. But I'm happy that you've highlighted a very important point pertaining to decongestion of the great city. And the plan is, like you alluded to, the ZBC Mbari, we are going to have a mini interchange. Actually, along the road, we've got 5 interchanges. So at the ZBC, you'll see a mini interchange. And Rothman's Willow Road, we are going to be having another mini interchange, so that we decongest those that are actually moving within Mbari area, and those actually going out of town will be taking advantage of those mini interchanges. And maybe to rehabilitate the existing flyover at Simon Mazorose, where you are getting also social media reports that it's no longer sound, still sound the bridge and the flyover, but we're going to redo it again. And we also have 2 more additional interchanges in Mashingo. So basically this will be our 5 interchanges. And as we speak in terms of progress, like I've indicated, we opened the Amalinda, which is also a loop road, and we've finished again the RMS Link Bridge. We haven't opened it yet because we want to connect to the roundabout. But the road is done, the bridge is done, and very soon we'll be opening that bridge to traffic. And these initiatives are also there to buttress and also ease the congestion, especially within our great city. But I want to say to the people of Zimbabwe, yes, the project has taken long, but find peace and joy that as we move towards the end of the year, you will see tremendous progress and you'll be enjoying the spaghetti road at the end of the day. Thank you so much.
It's a comparison in terms of the winter wheat production, where we've reached a record as at 1 November 2024, about 106,238 hectares had been harvested, giving a total of 518,502 metric tons of wheat, surpassing the 465,000 metric tons achieved in 2023. And to date, 75,000 metric tons of wheat has been delivered to the Grain Marketing Board. The remarkable performance of the winter wheat program attests to the foresight, planning and organizational capacity led by His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa. So this is the comparison that we keep doing extremely well. That's the statistic. My brother Costa Nkomo, of course we do not communicate on behalf of the government of Mozambique. But from the reports that we've received, the situation is very stable and peaceful. Thank you so much.